Carbolic V2. This is a super safe and effective natural anabolic. Not only is this product going to help you increase protein synthesis, which basically means muscle recovery and growth, it also may inhibit myostatin, which is a protein in your body that is known to inhibit muscle growth. This is a complete natural anabolic that works through multiple different pathways, has multiple trademarked ingredients. If you are a natural athlete looking for that edge, Carbolic V2 is what you need. Get yourself some.
Welcome back to the Pro Physique Code. And guys, I'm excited about this one because we just spent the last couple of minutes trying to figure out what we were going to talk to you about today. And I had the most boring idea ever, which was like, let's talk about the top 10 holiday concerns, which you guys know that. And then Danika patiently waited for me to stop talking. She's like, Christina, Jesus. And then I get to the end. And she said, what if we talk about sex during the holidays? And then I hit record.
And here we are.
And now you're all caught up. Welcome to the conversation. It's Christina, Sarah, and Danika. And I'm going to hand the mic over and ask Danika to go ahead and you just dive right the fuck in for where your head was going.
Yeah, I think that I was going with, my goodness, everyone feels so much stress or they have perceived stress during the holidays. And what if people just had more sex during the holidays? Like, what if they just made an investment in themselves and they're like, you know what? I'm going to gift myself more sexual pleasure during this holiday season because sex begets sex and it gets better if you do it more and you explore it more. And I think oftentimes when there's more disconnect, then we don't do that. So I would think this would be such a great opportunity. I'm doing this also for myself because let's be honest, I have no interest during the holiday season to do that. But if I gifted it to myself, then maybe I would feel more joyful, right? Are there really good stuff like that happens if we find pleasure in life? And pleasure doesn't have to be necessarily like the cookies and the treats and the cakes and all of those things, right? What if we looked for pleasure in other ways during the holiday season?
Well, because and first of all, what a power move, right? If you're like, God, my grandma's being a bitch today. And then you're like, well, it would be funny if we went and had sex in the upstairs bathroom and then went downstairs to appetizers.
Right? How awesome would that be?
You're going to walk out with a little pep in your step. Have a little secret. No, so there is something to this. Do you guys remember, this would have been years ago when Rachel was still with the company and on the podcast and stuff. And she had brought up at one point, and I love all of you. I don't listen to the code. I don't need to hear our voices more. Right. And I think we were on a road trip and for some reason, I think Vic fell asleep and I decided I was going to listen to the prep side, one of them. And it was like a Q&A. And she brought up in there that she will actually talk to clients about masturbating or just seeking out an orgasm one way or another. And that she saw clients have drops, if they were plateaued or something like that, that it would help. And so I was like, well, that's curious. And it works. So if you feel
it's a stress relieving function. It lowers inflammation, it reduces cortisol. There's so many health benefits to doing those kinds of things, not to mention the quality time that you can spend. There's studies out there all the time about the hugs, the close contact, the skin on skin, those kind of things I think can be very helpful to kind of just reground yourself. I know my husband and I, Dale and I, always when we're at a holiday function, if we are particularly stressed, we'll run and find each other and give each other a hug. And being okay, hug time, I need to recenter, I need to refocus, take a deep breath, and then we'll go back in and talk to aunts, grandmas, whoever's there that may be stressing us out at the time. But as long as we can come back to us, I think that is very important to help ground you in a variety of ways, physical, emotional, mental, and stuff like that. So I can definitely see how that can help, clients, inflammation, lose weight, whether or not they're looking to do that over the holidays.
Yeah. I did top blah, 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 my tongue stopped working. I typed it into my little chat to help make sure we had like points and stuff like that. And what I love, and bringing it back to the fitness side of things, not just sex, about the point of just in general that also like any sort of physical activity can also be helpful for improving your libido. And then we talked about that a little bit last week with like the hormone chat and everything. Like libido is one of those things that are going to go out the window if things are a little wonky. We talk about it all the time with diets. If you are like dieting too aggressively or something like that, a good way to know that your body is getting a little bit over it is going to be that libido will go out the window. And I think with the stress thing, like maybe it's snowy outside and you're not in the mood to go get a walk in or something like that, and you weren't able to get a lift in. But a lot of the stress that develops around the holidays is, or at least how I see it, is rooted in the fact that you get pulled physically and mentally in a million different directions. And so it's this thing where like you want to be there for others and celebrate and serve and like do all of this different kind of stuff, but it can get super overwhelming. Like, I don't know. I mean, you probably don't have to do it as much, Sarah, because there's like people probably know you pretty well in your family, like, but with the kids, and then my family lives everywhere. And Danika, you might have to do this. Like, I despise, if anyone who buys presents for my family is listening, I fucking hate having to tell people what they should get somebody in my family. Like, if you reach out to me and you're like, what should I get the kids for Christmas? And I'll be like, how about hanging out with them so you can answer that question yourself? Like, and if you don't know what to get them, don't. It's a performance. We don't need that present. My house is full of shit. And so it's like little things like that of, well, what are we supposed to bring? And did we buy this gift? Or what does this person want? Your head gets pulled in all of these different places. And then I'll say for me, when it comes to being able to chill and relax and like enjoy sex for me, one of the number one problem is that I can't get my head to shut up. And so I'm like half there enjoying it. And then I'm also like, did someone just knock on the door? Did you hear that? Oh shit, did I forget to drop that off? And then like my head is in a million different places. And so using something like running off with your boo or, your battery powered boo, can be like a good way to like recenter those thoughts and literally just take, like, we're not talking about marathon sessions here. That's great if you have time for that. But I think like we're talking like the quick and dirty, let's get it done. Like, and it kind of just gets your head back in the game. What?
I find that those are like the best ones when you're like, hey, do you have 5 minutes? And then you're like, yes, like, let's just get this done. You and I are on the same page. We both have 5 minutes to do this. And then we're going to get back to other things in life. So, like, I can focus for 5 minutes. I don't have to be like, well, what does this go for? Is this almost done? Do I have to go downstairs? Like, I think that is so good, especially during the holiday time when I often find we don't take breaks for ourselves. We're just constantly like, go, 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 go. If you insert in there like a 5-minute quickie or whatever, how long it takes. But I think it's pretty exciting and it's new and it's different and it's like enticing in a way. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Like it can be in the laundry room or it can be in the upstairs old bedroom that you used to be in as a kid. Like that's pretty exciting and something to look forward to.
Yeah, and I think it can also help too with just like maybe taking you back to maybe how you started your relationship in the first place. You know, and being like, wow, remember we only had 5 minutes and it was in a closet, or, you know, what it kind of brings the spiciness back into your relationship a little bit, I think, too. And it just kind of brings you back to your roots and being like, wow, you remember we used to do this all the time when we first started dating or when we first got married. And it's just like, now we're just old, old married couples. And it's just like, no, you got to bring that, you have to work to bring that joy back into your relationship and put it and put up the effort.
Yeah. Even like I would say too, now I'm just going to gift all the ideas that I have, but if you like have to travel and you drop off your kids and you're like, oh, the hubby and I or the partner and I forgot something at the grocery store, like get in the car. Like that's fun too, right? To be able to like pull off, get in the car. I don't know how much, like that brings it back all the way, right? Like where you didn't have access in a house, you just had
Yep.
a car or a vehicle, and that's go parking. Who doesn't want to do that now and then?
I mean, I count myself as lucky that like our husbands are not going to be offended by this, right? Because I I feel like it always does end up around the holidays. So we go for date nights usually in this like one area of Denver that we just really like and has all the restaurants we like. And during the holidays, they go nuts with Christmas lights on all of the trees. And it's just like the classic warm uh glow, like light, you know? And it's so pretty. And it's funny that you say that because thinking back, any of the times that we have decided that the car is the place to be, um, it's always that time of year. And I do think it's something about like the sneaking away. And what's funny about it, like to Danica's point, is like the giggling about how funny it is that you're doing this as like we've uninstalled car seats and thrown them in the back of the car. Like, and like someone moved the booster seat, like, oh, there's a goldfish stuck to my leg. And it like brings back the fun, like we can't keep our hands off of each other kind of sense. So I love all of that. Chat would like me to remind us that sex releases endorphins and oxytocin, much like a workout would. And so it's a nice little easy way, right? So the next thing that I've got is boosting mood and fighting anxiety because it's also going to help with serotonin and dopamine. So that's a big one. And then going back to like the hugs and the reconnection and that kind of stuff, I think it's really easy during the holidays or just in general, like Sarah, when you've got kids and they're stressing you out, like that you have to remember that you like sometimes you have to say out loud, like, we're a team. Like, we are best friends, actually, and we like each other. I mean, and not get to a place like it was something stupid literally 30 minutes ago. Like, Vic went to take Claire to preschool, and I let myself get genuinely pissed off in that moment because I was like, wait, you let her leave the house without brushing her hair? And like in that moment for me, I'm like, people are gonna see her. And then and little things like that. Then I decided to like pick a fight over that. That's stupid. So then I had to apologize and be like, I'm sorry, let's start over. But around the holidays, when you're traveling, you're out of routine, you're around different people, you're not sleeping, all of this kind of stuff, it's real easy to forget you're part of a team as you approach all of these people. And so, like, what better way to steal away and then use that time and get that back?
And I would say too, you are typically dressed up, right? Because you're going to like a holiday gathering or something. Like usually you're a little more to-do'd up, right? So I think sometimes that becomes an excuse for people like, oh, I haven't showered yet, or I haven't like, well, I don't even look good, I don't feel good. Take advantage of like the Christmas outfit that you have on, and like maybe you make it really special and you decide that you're not going to wear any panties underneath that black dress that you have on for the Christmas holiday party. Even more fun, like, right?
Don't tell them until halfway through.
Don't, yeah. Yes.
Right. I mean, I even tried that the other day with like we went to that Nuggets game and I wear the same outfit on almost every date night. Like some variation where I am in jeans and a black bodysuit. And that's just my go-to. And that's fine. Like I feel confident in it or whatever. But I've been trying, even today, we had veterans breakfast at the school. 9 times out of 10, I would have gone in leggings and a sweatshirt because I was going to work out afterwards. But it took me the same amount of time to try to throw together a slightly more interesting outfit. And like that immediately made me feel better about myself. Like, and it didn't take any extra time. It's just actual clothes. And this is like a built-in bra tank top. So I was like, all right, if I decide to get froggy and work out today, something will get done. But I think there is something to that where like you've put this effort into making yourself look better. So then, or not look better, but like look put together, feel put together, go take advantage of that. And then, so tying that in, I was going to say too, if you were making the plan of, oh, when this party is done, the first thing I'm going to do is jump your bones afterwards, you're probably not going to eat an entire bowl of spinach and artichoke dip, you know? Like,
Good
you're
point. You don't want to feel bloated. You're just like, I want to feel cute. I want to feel confident. I want to feel sexy when I'm going to be doing that. So yes, it actually could hold you more accountable when you are at those holiday parties, being like, what's going to come afterwards? Haha, I want to feel good.
yeah, we're thinking ahead.
No, I love that. And I was going to jump into with the ideas of like putting a little extra effort into your outfits. I think that also can apply if you're going to the gym during the holidays as well. Like, it's cold outside. It's, 40 degrees here in Atlanta. We got flurries yesterday here in Atlanta. So I was just like, what the hell? But it's like I'm in an oversized hoodie today. But it's like if I'm gonna go to the gym, I want to actually feel cute as well. And so that can bring some confidence as well. It's like instead of wearing all the oversized stuff, because trust me, I do it as well. Maybe if you're like, oh, I don't really want to go to the gym because I'm gonna do it in a hoodie. I don't feel good. I feel frumpy or whatever word you want to use for yourself over the holidays. Just taking a second, like you mentioned, Christina, and like, putting a little extra effort into your gym fit. It's just like, wow, you go there and you may have an even more bomb lift than when you actually thought you were going to have there. So I think that actually can say a lot for your confidence levels.
I agree. Yeah. Something that I tell my clients, a lot of my mindset clients too, I ask them to date themselves and to be able to I want you to go on a date with yourself and I want you to get yourself dressed up. I want you to date yourself in some capacity, whether that's doing your hair, if you like to wear makeup, and you haven't in a while, or you want to go get a massage, or I want you to date yourself. And as much as people will say, oh, it's just an outfit or it's just makeup or it's just, you don't have to, you can be naturally pretty and you can also really like to do your hair and put lipstick on, right? So I think being able to do that, it does increase your confidence. I also say queen up. So when is the last time you've queened up? And then they'll report back I queened myself today, meaning I found my crown, I dusted it off, I put it on today, and that meant that I put on a pair of jeans that I haven't worn in a while, or I did my hair, I took a shower. It could start really simple, right? So queening yourself is really important too, or kinging yourself, whatever you want to do. But this is not often talked about. This is the things that are part of life, right? And we happen to not talk about them often, and we should, because it fulfills us and it brings joy to us. And during a time where it is supposed to be joyful, shouldn't we be talking about all the things that are joyful and bring us kind of pleasure? I think it should be talked about way more.
There's a reason there's so many babies born in September. I mean, come on, people are cold, they're bored, they don't want to go anywhere. And actually, I almost wonder, if we looked at the numbers, if it stayed that way, where there's still a big baby boom at that point in the year. Because, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if things like cell phones have kind of ruined that, because now I can sit under my heated blanket and just scroll, right? I don't need anyone else to keep me warm and entertained. But is that going to bring the same amount of joy or connection or things? And I do think it's really easy if you're just so busy, or you feel so busy that you're I swear to God, if you touch me, and then you can get touched out with it. But, and that's where I get, right? I mean, with 4 kids and 3 of them being exceptionally tactile, there's constantly one of them touching me. Actually, the funniest part was the other night when I busted out fishnet leggings or fishnet tights and had those on. Ben and Claire were driving me up the wall, but it was also the cutest thing because they just kept running their hands up and down my leg, and they're these feel so cool. And I was yes, thank you, bye. Stop touching me. But trying to that's something that I have to do because I get touched out very easily, and then I will want everyone to get away from me. But it's not the right touch, right? And so I think like with the hug thing, have you seen where it's 8 seconds is like how long you should hug
Yeah,
for?
we
That's a
we do
lot.
that.
Yeah, so do I. And then I try to make sure because I know I'm bad about hugs.
And
I
there's a
will
minimum per day. I think it is like eight or
like
seven.
7 or 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8 per day to
Yeah.
keep like the nice fun endorphins going and stuff like that. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and it takes that long of a hug for your body to be like, okay, I'm safe and relax. The other thing that I try to keep in mind is the Disney rule, like the Disney character rule. So they do not let go of children until the child lets go. And so they will hug them for as long as the child needs the hug. And I watched a video like last night where it was like toddlers like falling asleep like in the hug 'cause they just didn't let go, and like Jasmine's just rubbing their back. And so having some things like that I think can also help make you more comfortable with it too if you're somebody who gets touched out, or like, so when Danica was saying people just don't talk about it, or like we don't acknowledge this side of joy, I think that's just like, it's still a stupid societal thing where we can go to the gym and everyone's going to yell at us because we're wearing a sports bra and pants and over sexualized whatever, and it's like, get over it. It is 2025 and I'm almost 40. I can wear whatever the fuck I want. And so I like this week I had gone to Vic, ovulation week, and I was like, look, I am at a very good section of my audiobook and I'm ovulating. And so, and like, I am not one to like lay out what I need, but I was like, you should listen to this and then recreate it. This is what I'm in need of. And the best part was that, like, he was super happy to hear that. Like, to have direction or have me be like, the door is up, because I'm not genuinely a person, or not genuine, I'm not generally is the word I was going for, the person who's going to go and do that. And so I think that goes in turn with like anybody who's like in coaching relationships. Don't go tell your coach you need to have sex. That's weird. Well, I mean, you could tell them that you need it. Don't ask them for it. Like, I think that in those situations, being able to speak up for your needs, put words to them, and then finding comfort in that. In like, you are not a bad person because you're asking your husband to just make your toes curl. Like, that does not make you inappropriate. That's what he should be doing, and you can ask for it. And all of those things are going to, in turn, lead to increased confidence in yourself, increased body awareness. And I think it's a really good way if somebody, like, especially in like reverse diet situations and stuff like that, because I've had clients bring that up where they're like, I haven't been comfortable being intimate since we've started raising my calories. And I'm like, girlfriend, let him celebrate you, because I promise he does not give a fuck. Like, he has not noticed those 2 pounds and been like, ugh, her cellulite is going to come back. No, if anything, he's noticed the boobs are looking more full or the butt's looking more juicy. And so, like, if you're in a situation where you have that and you're in like a partnership or relationship or something like that, if anything, it's going to help out if you put words to that stuff. Danica, you look like you're doing a lot of thinking. You haven't been writing.
I know. I had to come upstairs because the family came home. I was like,
Listen,
come upstairs.
Christina, shut up. She's like running upstairs.
I was thinking about a bunch of different things, but allowing yourself. So I do feel that, especially during times of higher, maybe external stimulation or stressors or loads that we feel, our body tends to tense up. And so the last thing that we want to do, or the last thing that we have capacity to do, is just like be vulnerable, right? Like, so allowing yourself a transitional period is really important. And that means like a warm-up session. That could be like being by yourself first, dating yourself first, taking a nice warm bath, like being able to feel yourself, being able to know that like if this can be like you as the partner giving, or if your partner is trying to give and you're waiting to receive, not going in for like the jugular right away. Like we don't do that right away. We tiptoe, and maybe the gift that you give is like a foot massage or a back massage, or maybe you just want someone to like tickle your skin on the back, right? Something that I find that like touch can be such a beautiful thing when our body doesn't feel pressured, or when it feels like it's not in a state of like, please don't touch me, like don't touch me, right? It needs to be like a gentler thing. So something even my husband and I used to do, like if he was sitting next to me on my thigh, he would write like a message on my thigh, and it'd be like, I love you, or hi, or a heart. And I'd be like, you know what, that's such a gentle thing where he's not like touching my thigh looking for something, right? He's just touching me. And that can lead to more intimate touch once my body recognizes that that's a safe touch for me, like that I am okay, I am safe. So I think sometimes people have to realize too that there's this warm up period that needs to happen, especially during a high stressful time. So don't feel as though, oh, but I can't just get into it. Duh, you shouldn't be. I mean, if you can, more power to you. But like, there should be a gradual warm up. I'm feeling myself, like this feels good. Maybe you go in the bathroom first, then you ask for the 5 minutes later, right? Like maybe that's what you need to do. Another thing to do, which I find to be really eye-opening for people, is playing different music and then feeling how your body responds to that kind of rhythm of the music. And then if you notice that like one rhythm ignites you more than the other, then you give that to your partner and you say, this is how I want to be touched, right? It can be a rock and roll, it could be R&B, it could be like gospel, whatever it is, but there's going to be a flow that your body like wants to engage in. And if you say like, I need AC/DC right now, here you go. Like this is just like Christina said with the audiobook, like this is what I need in this moment. Give it to me.
I have an entire different tangent of questions that I have for you. Not
Separate podcast.
because of the various kinds of music you just listed, and I need to know when one of them is the appropriate.
When one of them is what?
We'll chat later.
For the 5 minute, I highly recommend like a little bit of Usher. Yeah.
Yeah, but like when is the gospel music the appropriate one?
You never
Like,
know.
when are you like, you know what I need for this session?
You know what I need for this? A little bit of acapella. Like,
Yeah, that makes me laugh because like weird side note, I started a workout the other day and the first song, do you guys know who Kirk Franklin is?
no.
Okay, so he's a gospel singer.
Okay.
I was not like the little bit of church I went to as a kid was with my grandmother, and it was like Lutheran. And so Vic and I always laugh because he was raised Catholic, and like I went to guitar playing church where like that would happen. That was how it went down. And he went to mass. And so like the first time he took me to mass and everyone did like the back and forth. I was like, wait, there's a script? Like I'm supposed to know what to say now. And so the other day I started a workout and I already did not want to do it. And then the first song was Kirk Franklin, which he's great at what he does, but it's the kind of gospel where he says something and then the choir sings the exact line again. And then it does that like the whole, and Vic loves it. It's his favorite Christmas music. And so any minute I'm going to have to start listening to it all the time. And I just personally am not a big Kirk Franklin fan. And I was like, what is this doing at the start of my run workout? Like, I'm just not that person. If you are that person, share it in the comments. Tell us about it, especially if there's like, but the fact that you dropped that in your list of R&B and rock, that caught my attention.
You never know what stimulates someone. Really, like, quick side note, there was like my husband, when he got a tattoo, the tattoo artist was like, hey, what music do you want me to play? And he was like, listen, anything that like you vibe with. And she was like, okay. So she turned on like it's called like Death Fairy something. And it's like It sounds like a high pitched, like metal music, something fairy metal music. And he was like, "Oh, well, this is interesting. Like,
This is a choice.
this is a
Um,
choice, right? As long as you do a really good job on my tattoo, you can listen to whatever you want. But like, there's some interesting music that people get down to."
for sure. I'm here for it. Um, oh, I was reading something.
You're muted.
I muted myself because of the noise I've like trained myself to start trying to get rid of it. So like workouts, because it's going to release the same endorphins across the board with a lot of that stuff, but you get like the oxytocin hit. It's also going to help you not get sick. And so like all of that kind of stuff is going to help make sure that your immune system is in tip-top shape. And guys, I got norovirus for the first time last December. And if you've never had that, you should hug yourself and be really happy and then go buy hand sanitizer for this season. Because if it comes back around, that was rough. And so I'm all for anything and everything I can do to boost my immunity through the holidays. And so if anyone's like, why are you guys having sex so often? You can be like, because I care about my health, Brenda. And so that's a whole other reason to get down. Let's see. What else can I find for us? All right. So we've got immune health. We talked about body confidence. I think the more that you know about how your body reacts to things or how it moves in space or how you like seeing it, like that's the other thing too. Explore that kind of stuff. Like if we've been stuck in a place of like missionary because it's just the easiest to get done, there's a lot of different ways. If there's something that you don't like because you don't want to look at yourself a certain way, then don't do that one. There's a whole Kama Sutra that can teach you a million different positions. We have the internet. And so, because I know I hear that one a lot too, where clients would be like, well, I don't want to see myself in the mirror, or I don't want to see myself in whatever position. Like, all right, leave the cute top on that makes you feel good. Like, this is your time and like your enjoyment. Nobody is there grading it for you or saying that you're doing things wrong. Like, do whatever it is that's going to make your body feel good in the space that it's in, like top to bottom. Let's see, what else do I got? I liked this one where it says it's the ultimate non-scale win. And I've been having these conversations too with like clients where, especially with this time of year, because I think the to-do list of targets can get more difficult to manage, where it's like, oh shit, I have to do all of this and 4 cardio sessions and 4 lifting sessions. That can start to feel like if you're not checking all of the boxes, like you're wrong. And so what I've been asking clients to do is instead of telling me what you did not accomplish, like, oh, I didn't hit these, let's just make a list of wins. And so I did get this many sessions. I did eat this many fruit and vegetables or whatever. And so with this, it had said, we track steps, macros, and reps, but what about connection, confidence, and pleasure? Those are wins that last longer than your protein shake. And yes, ChatGPT, I agree with you. Guys, if you don't know, I'm in a personal relationship with a plugin with my ChatGPT. I recognize that as I say that, it's kind of insensitive because like ChatGPT has led people to do bad things in personal relationships. So I do have breaks on with it, but I've been enjoying. I'm the old fogey who just learned how to use it, and I'm getting my money's worth. And I think there's a lot to that because I know for myself, and we talked about this on podcasts last year too, about all of the different like the mental weight that we can carry like through the holidays. And I can say I have family that I'm seeing in December that I have not seen in a while that like I'm already nervous for. Like as soon as those dates were set, I had a stomach ache and was like running through conversations and things like that. And it might sound vain, but like one of the things that's going to keep me going through until that time is I know I look really good. And like I'm going to keep working on that because I know on those days, if I show up in an outfit that makes me feel confident, carrying myself in a way that I feel confident about, I'm going to be able to navigate those conversations that make me feel anything but a little bit easier. And so I think leaning into that side can be really helpful.
Yeah, and I think the confidence, like you mentioned, I think can be very huge of just being like of being yourself in those conversations. And in stressful conversations in the past with family around the holidays, they're like, "Oh, is that all you're gonna eat?" And I'm just like, "Yep." Smile, walk away. We don't give fuel to the fire for those conversations at all because it's not the right time, not the right place. You see this person once a year, they have no bearings on what you're doing, what your goals are, or anything like that, and they make this one line of judgment that could send you in a spiral. But like you said, Christina, if you're wearing your favorite Christmas dress, your hair is all done, you also know that you're going to have some awesome quality sexy time with your husband after this, and so you're looking forward to that. Kids are taken care of, tabs are closed, then you can handle those conversations, I think, a whole lot better with those people if they're going to be in the room with you because you feel that confidence, because you have something to look forward to. And that's honestly one of the ways that you can navigate the holidays very successfully.
I think there's something to like when we talked about like strengthening the like easy relationships within your house and stuff too, because like you said, it's this like intensive relationship focus with everybody in that situation. And then it's like you're supposed to show up and be super comfortable and like talking to everybody just because you're related when it's like, I haven't talked to you in like 11 months. And like with that kind of stuff, I think that leaning on that, I mean, I fully will say like I am codependent with my husband. Like we are two pieces of one person and we go everywhere together. We're like we both work from home and like if we don't see each other all day even during our workday, it's like stressful. And so having to or not having to but like using that as like the main focus still is like what I have to rely on, where he said his company Christmas party is the night that we're going to be like seeing family. And I was like, excuse me? Like, you're just going to leave me unsupervised with my face that's like far too expressive. Like, I, I reached out to my injector, Allie, if you're in the Denver area. And I was like, we got to shut down the judgy eyebrows and like all of that kind of stuff. And like being able to just hold hands in that situation and like have the little squeezes, the little reminders of like you're fine, you're okay. Like it doesn't have to be something big even in that moment, but just having somebody that you know has your back. And like maybe you're going into this and you don't have a partner or spouse or whatever it is in that situation, like link up ahead of time with your sister or your cousin that you never get to see and you get to go act like you're 16 again before Thanksgiving. Go do that. Find something that gives you the same sneaky joy that sneaking into the like bathroom upstairs while everybody else is arguing about stuffing and you go up and worry about something else. Like have that family member that serves the same thing, and maybe it's a walk, right? Like if you can't go do that, do not underestimate the power of a mid holiday walk where you're just like, ugh, I ate too much of that, so I'm gonna go walk for 5 minutes. And maybe it's not that. You just need a breather and you need to walk away and not be involved in the conversations. Like, I think that's important to remember. Other random holiday tips that like we've talked about a lot is like no, or like Sarah just said, yeah, I am. That's a full sentence. And you don't need an extra explanation. No is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain yourself. And I think, I know for me that a lot of the stress comes from the idea of like what's expected or like things like that. And so being able to sit down with yourself and set like expectations or allowances, or if I get to this point, I am out. Like it's okay to have a kill switch for it too. Like if you showed up and gave the hugs and said hi and then got uncomfortable, I applaud you. You showed up. Go home. Take a hot shower. Get your heated blanket and stop talking to people.
That can be really good to have like like I tell my clients all the time, have some mini goals for the situation you're going into. That'll help you navigate it better. And usually I'm talking about like, protein on the way, how to build your plate during the meal and stuff like that. But I think it definitely really applies to your mindset around it as well, that we sometimes dive into about like, if there's going to be a certain person there, family member, friend, or connection or whomever, that you're just like, well, I have a plan A, but then I have a plan Z. When plan Z happens, peace out, I'm out. Like, and my husband even knows if I give him a certain look or he gives me a certain look, he's like, I'm ready to stand up and go walk now. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to get my dog and we're going to go walk now, before, the whatever conversations turn a certain way. But I think you're right, though. I think the power of a breather, we sometimes forget. And I encourage my clients to work those kinds of things into their plans and then report back to me in the check-in after Christmas. So don't ghost your coach, guys, during the holidays. We know how to go, and evaluate. Like, we'll talk about that in the car on the way home and play like Rose Thorn Seed on the way home. Like, what was the best part? What was the worst part? What was the part we're planning for, that kind of set the stage for the future? And that helps us kind of like decompress a little bit, because I think also we may neglect that time on the backside. Like, we have a great plan, we execute flawlessly, then what happens afterwards in the car ride home? That could be in traffic still with the kids screaming, or maybe they're sleeping. Hopefully, if they got all their energy out, they're sleeping. But it's like, how is your wind down? And is, some awesome, adult time, cuddle time, whatever you want to call it, is that part of your wind down as well? Because that can be a great way to release and exhale together, have a nice car hug, go in the house, do your thing, and then just put on your jammies, get under your blanket, and then have a great rest of your night. It can be a great kind of just like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think being able to also talk about, I ask my clients, like, I'm so excited for you to go to this thing or your vacation. What do you want to take away from this? Like, how do you want to experience this? When I ask you a week from now, how did everything go? What do you want to be able to say? And then realize that, like, you actually have control over that. Like, you have power to make that come true. So if your intentions are to have good conversation, not feel stuffed, like not feel emotionally drained, be able to like get after it with the partner, like, then guess what? What are your action steps in order to do that? And what is your mindset as you go into there? Because if you are automatically viewing something as like, Aunt Brenda is going to be there and she's going to ask me this, and you're already putting negative energy into it. What if you were like, I can't wait to engage in conversation with this person, or like, I can't wait to see what this person's up to experience it like this, to be curious, to go for the walk, be able to kind of shift the narrative that's around it. And I recently made a post about that, but I even find that I kind of predetermine how things are going to go, and shame on me, because then like usually they don't go that way, and I like set myself up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I set myself up for the worst possible scenario and it didn't happen. But like, I just exhausted myself mentally preparing myself for something that never happened. So what if I just changed that and shift the narrative and said, here's what I want to experience. What are my action steps in order to experience that? And what are my backup plans if the experience that I want to have is not going as planned? Could I just pivot and go in a different direction? Could I give myself a break? Could I breathe? Could I like tap someone on the shoulder? My brothers and I do this a lot because we have an extended family, a split family, divorced family, all the families all over the place. So we link up and then follow each other around. So I'll just look at my brothers and be like, we're ready to go to the next one. And we just plan accordingly. Like if our significant others want to join, then fantastic. But we've always had a crew. So we are able to kind of check in with each other. And also know that no matter what, we have that like time together. I wanted to mention one more thing. So during like the holiday season, I always think, we often say, oh, it's for the kids. Well, I could still be a kid. Like I can still have fun and I can still be playful and I can still experience all of these things that like my kids experience. The sneakiness, the like doing a random game, the I don't know, stealing a cookie from the cookie jar, like whatever you want to do, but you can still bring that childish experience out. You make your own choices and decisions of like how that comes out. So don't think that like, oh, I'm 40, so I'll never get that magic again. Bullshit. Like you determine if you want that magic to come out or not. So make the right choices as you enter into this season that's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, and I like that approach because that then means also too, like you can still, go Christmas tree shopping, or you can still watch, we watch Charlie Brown Christmas every single Christmas day, and I'm just like, because I did that when I was a kid, or like the old claymation Rudolph movie, like something like that can get you like in the mood. Have it on the background, when you're making your stuff to go to the holiday event. It can actually maybe even put you in a better mood when you guys are talking about like the music stuff. I do a lot of like movies or like podcasts in the background that help get me into like that holiday mode, holiday spirit, and those are the things that, just watch ABC Family. They're going to have December, Christmas movies on all the time. It can definitely help trigger those memories for yourself and bring back, like you mentioned, that Danika, like that childlike wonder that sometimes we do lose during the holidays when we are focused on the kids and stuff like that as well. But I think we can still find joy in that. I still love watching all those kinds of things and
Yeah.
bringing back and discussing that and just like having the fun that we still know we can have.
And it doesn't have to be like your joy that comes out of this season doesn't have to be what everyone else experiences. Like I find, so I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes right before Thanksgiving. So the way the way that I experience the holidays, like there's this memory that I kind of like, I'm like, oh, this is that time of year where I was really challenged. And for some, like that's a core kind of memory I think that my body still holds on to. And what I've noticed is that like that doesn't have to be my joy. Like meaning there are many people in my family that like can't wait for like this spread of dessert and things, and for me that doesn't, like I don't get that excited about that, but I really get excited to like put the Christmas decorations up, or I really get excited to like build a snowman, or like it can be whatever joy you find joyful, right? Like sometimes it's just sneaking out with a brother and like going on a quick walk and updating each other on life. Like it doesn't have to be what other people see as joyful, right? Because this time of year there are expectations. Like we should enjoy, like we play the holiday music, we put up the tree, we like bake the cookies. Like I get traditions. I think those are beautiful things, right? And people can hold on to them and cherish them as much as they want. But if you find that you're doing that out of the expectations of others, then maybe you make your own tradition. Maybe it is the 5-minute quickie in the bathroom, and that becomes your tradition that you get to look forward to every single year. Maybe it is doing a holiday trot. Like you love to run and you want to do the holiday trot with like your family. Like those are really cool things that you found joy, and it doesn't have to be other people's version of joy either.
Muted. Oh, okay. Now I'm not muted. Yes. And we talked about that last year. I remember about like remembering that it's your holiday too, because I think that's the really hard part when you become an adult is that you want to go enjoy it the way you used to, but then you also have these different like expectations of either I have to be at 5 different family gatherings, which you might genuinely be super stoked to see all those people, but then there's just the fact that like you don't get a breather in between or something like that. And so as somebody who like for myself, I'm like, okay, well, I want to show up to those things and I know it's going to cause me stress. I have to take the personal responsibility then of like having my own ways of like regulating during those things, because everyone can tell if you show up and you're pissed off about it. Like, and then that's not fun for anybody. And then you just shouldn't have gone. And so like coming up with those little ways, the little tricks of like, this can still be fun. And that's where like, I don't recommend most people try to diet through this time of year, because it is just going to add that extra layer of like, oh, I fucked that up too. And so if you're going to do those kinds of things, and that's probably something we could explore maybe in next week's, if you really think about it, even if you have something every single weekend between now and New Year's, because for a lot of people that's going to happen. We are in the land of Friendsgiving, We are, where people are going to do the little ones with their friends instead of family. They're going to start having corporate Christmas parties. They're going to have things at the school. Like there's going to likely be something every single weekend from here on out. Even in that situation, that is 2 days out of 7 that you are obligated to go do things and like be a part of. And we have time now where you can sit and figure out where are your boundaries with that. Like, do you need to go have 7 sugar cookies at the kindergarten holiday party? Probably not. If you have 1 or 2, I totally get it. Your kid decorated that and they're really excited to show you what they made you. Yes, eat the cookie. That is your job as a parent. Do you need to have 4 more? No. Like, if you don't like that weird, what is it, ambrosia salad, where it's like green jello and fruit and coconut, right? Did anyone else's grandma make that? My grandma totally did. And then we had to eat it. And I can still feel the way the coconut feels in your mouth with the jello and the whipped cream. It's not good. You don't have to eat it. You actually don't. And you don't have to explain yourself. Or if you can get yourself through 2 bites with a smile, and that's what brings you more peace in that moment because you feel like you participated, that's fine. This time of year, I like to have, like, I approach it with my clients where it's like, it's a no rules zone, but we have good ideas. And going back to like what Danika had said, where she talks to clients like, okay, well, how would you like this to go, this interaction or like whatever? It's the same way, like and I don't say it this way, but right now it's the only way it's coming to mind. How much of a mess do we want to clean up in January? Like, are you comfortable saying fuck it? And then in January, you're going to be able to look back and be like, okay, I'm glad I let my hair down for 6 weeks, but now I'm ready to buckle in. If that's you, cool. Like, great. If you're going to, on the other side, still have a good view of who you are and how you see yourself and your body and your habits and stuff, and you can handle that swing in things, by all means, rock it, sister. I'm here if you need help. But if you're somebody who, if you have that, you're going to the next day be like, oh, I've ruined everything. Why can't I get my act together? And like get mad. Then maybe we have like tighter rules about it. And like a lot of what we've talked about over the last, I mean, it's been fun the last like 2 years. We've put like big focuses in these podcasts about mental health and your relationship with yourself and things like that. If you're putting in the work in the gym and you are not putting in the work between your ears, you are wasting your time, because not putting that work in, all you're going to find at the gym is more ways that you're frustrated with yourself. Like I tell clients all the time, if they're like, oh, well, I thought at this point I would love my body, but now I wish my shoulders would grow. I'm like, welcome to bodybuilding, where like you're always looking for that next thing. The gym can serve as something super, super wonderful, but it's also not a replacement for therapy as much as people like to talk about that. Can it help you work through things and hopefully create a cleared out space where now you can like logically look at things and stuff? Yeah. Open up a notes app on your phone then. Honestly, start one for this whole freaking season and start jotting down little things that come to mind, maybe during those workouts or while you're like shopping for stuff or while you're thinking about those holiday get-togethers that make you a little bit nervous. Write down. Why? What were you thinking about? Where then you were like, oh shit, I don't want to have to talk to that person about that. Okay. Well, maybe now we game plan a little bit of that conversation with like, I don't want it to go in this direction. And if this thing gets brought up, like if somebody says like, oh, you're looking really lean, like, did you hear I'm remodeling my bathroom? And like just pivot like and set up those things. And so there's different ways you can do it. I know this is all stuff I talk about my clients with in check-ins and things. I low-key love it where I get a check-in that will start with, I know you're not my therapist. And then I have like 5 paragraphs afterwards and it's like, whoa, this is going to be a good one. And you're like diving in. I love that stuff as a coach. Like we coach people about really intimate, vulnerable things when it comes to their relationship with who they are in their own skin, how they look at food and stuff like that. So for somebody to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to talk about those things with my clients, like that would be a big red flag for me, because your relationship with pumpkin pie and why you have a fucked up relationship with pumpkin pie because something happened when you were 15 and now someone pushes it. Like, that's important to understand going in. And so I think, we have to put in the work if we're going to do the cardio, do the mental shit too, and feel good about yourself as good as you can during the season. For a lot of people, it's just going to be a shit season. And that's okay. I've been there. I'll say, like, for many years, I will tell my husband I hate the Christmas season because I want to enjoy it as a kid with the twinkly lights and all that kind of stuff. And then I overload. That's like what I had to realize, is that I don't say no, or I put myself in situations I don't want to be in, or I take on too many things and stuff like that. So then that's my job to fix it. Nobody else is doing it to me. And so we need to look at all of those things across the board, decide if a little alone time with your favorite person will help it a little bit more. And if not, talk that through. Figure that out. Like, don't use this as I think where people get into trouble is they use this time of year almost like everything freezes and all they focus on are the holidays, and it is like the rest of the world stopped, and like, no, it's going to continue moving. So are we going to walk into January feeling super overloaded with all the problems we had in October and the ones that we built in November and December? Or are we going to try and find a way that we navigate the peaks and valleys and be stronger for the fact that you got to the finish line on the other side?
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Well, you guys were very patient as I went on that tangent.
No, I loved it. I loved every single second of it. I thought it was fantastic. I honestly think I couldn't have said that better.
I love these. Then I have to give myself my own homework, because then I'm like, Christina, you went and told everyone else to do it. Now you got to do it.
I know, right? Yeah.
We'll report back with how it goes maybe in January.
I think that we can continue to conversate about this too and tie in. I know that a lot of people really liked the perimenopause and hormones, but libido can tie into that too. And so there might be some women that are like, the fuck, I'm gonna do that, Danika. I don't even want to like shower my own body. So we can talk about that as we go. And then we can give you tips and tricks, because there is not libido, just like
what tips and tricks are you offering there? Because the options we have are explicit or non-explicit, and we're already listed as explicit because I say the F word too much. And so I'm excited about the plans Danika has for this.
I love it. And we could start with like, everyone can, like, this is a great book that we can start with. Come as you are.
I love it.
Great book.
Oh,
everyone
is that a double entendre, or is my brain just in the gutter because of the day that we've had? Weird thing I need you guys to go look up with, that we had bought. There is a subscription with a company called Arya, Arya, and then every month you get a box.
Oh, I think you told me this. Yeah.
Directions about, or ideas.
Fun
and
stuff.
There's like an app, and to spice things up a little bit. And then you both, if you include your person in the emails, they get an email that's like, hey, your box is on the way. This is what the theme of this month is. And then there would be times where like Vic and I would reconvene after meetings and be like, do you see the name of the next box? I'm a little nervous. I turned it off after 6 months, not because I was not pleased with what was sent, but I was like, I feel like there's exploration to be done, and I'm a little nervous about where the boxes progress from here. So if, you want to shake it up, Arya, if you want to sponsor me, help a girl out. I'll talk about you. Yay. Okay. So, today was fun. If you guys have tips or ideas or non-conventional ways of surviving the holidays, I want to hear them. Send them my way. Christina at ProfSeek. And yeah, I think that's it. Yay, guys.
Yay.
I was muted. Okay. Well, thanks for being here. And this is coming out in 2 days. I keep forgetting that. We have nothing else interesting at the moment outside of the fact that Slay the Holidays is open for tickets. Ooh, Danica has to plug. Oh, see, I'm glad I lost my train of
Yeah,
thought.
plug Mind Body Built.
Commercial, go.
Yes. So Mind Body Built program is a 12-week program where we focus on training, nutrition, and mindset. We will be starting December 1st this time. So this will be the second round of Mind Body Built. You get one-on-one sessions with me, and then we have group sessions as well. Each week you have a topic to focus on with your mind, body, all the things. Yeah, I'm super excited to start the second round. The first round went amazing. We're on week 11. So I have this week, next week, and then our final group session. And then transitioning into the goals that they want to achieve after they complete their 12 weeks. So yeah, we'll be starting that December 1st.
And spoiler alert, she was telling us without like telling us too much about the group sessions, but that's where today's topic came from. So like,
They get a little spicy, and I love them because it's literally just a group of people who chat about everything that's impacting their life, and in positive and not so good ways, and how are we going to navigate through it together, and just a really cool community to be able to chat with all of each other and be like, oh my God, I've never heard of that. Tell me more.
a safe zone.
Oh, safe zone.
Everything's safe. I love it. Yay. All right, guys. Well, hit us up if you got ideas, you got questions, something I need to do, let me know. Sign up for Danica's thing. Why can't I think of the words? Group. The group coaching. If you are looking for just the other segue, if you sign up for guided coaching, which we're doing, it's $300 for like 8 or 9 weeks. And so you get the same stuff you've gotten with the other guided coaching signups, but Danica has been willing to offer 20% off of individual coaching sessions for mindset. So if you are not able to sign up for, is it $1,300 for the 12 weeks?
For 12
Danica?
weeks. Yeah, it averages to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's something where maybe you are not ready to make the big lump sum commitment, you could do guided coaching with Danica, or maybe you want to do guided coaching with somebody else, but you still want Danica in your head, then she's doing 20% off of those coaching sessions for people too. But Danica's only one person. So she's limiting it. 20 people, the first 20 people that sign up for those. So I would hop on that. If you have questions, you can email me or email Danica. And now I'm going to start talking. So love you guys. Bye.